Ladies and gentlemen, let us pause for a moment and imagine a seed buried deep in the soil, unseen, yet brimming with life. It does not rush to grow. It does not demand sunlight. It does not envy the flowers that bloom beside it. It simply struggles silently, reaching, stretching, pushing through the darkness until one day it bursts forth with strength and beauty that can no longer be ignored. That seed, my friends, is you. That seed is your effort, your sweat, your unwavering determination. Tonight, we gather to speak of hard work and success, not as distant dreams, but as the fruits of patient labor, courage, and unshakable faith in oneself. Ladies and gentlemen, let us speak plainly. Success is not a gift that falls from the sky, nor a crown placed upon the heads of the fortunate. Success is born in the quiet hours, in the hands that labor when no one is watching, in the hearts that refuse to surrender even when the world whispers, "Give up." It is in the moments when your body trembles and your spirit protests, yet you rise again, step by determined step. Every drop of sweat, every weary breath, every sleepless night is a note in the symphony of achievement, a testament that greatness does not arrive uninvited. It is earned, cultivated, and nurtured by those who dare to work when others rest. Consider the laborer who tills the soil before dawn, the writer who pens words in the hush of the night, the artist who shapes beauty from raw and stubborn clay. Their success is not magic. It is the product of relentless effort, of doing what must be done long before the applause arrives. It is in these acts of devotion to one's purpose that the seeds of triumph are sown. Life has no shortcuts, no secret doors. It only honors those who show up day after day with courage and commitment. The road may be rough, the path uncertain, but each step forward is a triumph. Each small victory a spark that lights the way toward something greater than oneself. And yet, hard work alone is not enough. It must be paired with intention, with vision. Labor without purpose is like a river that loses its course, flowing endlessly, yet reaching nowhere. But when effort is aligned with a clear heart, a steadfast dream, the ordinary becomes extraordinary. A single mind, disciplined and determined, can move mountains, can turn impossibility into inevitability. Every moment of effort, no matter how small, is a brick in the foundation of a life lived fully, a life that refuses to bow to doubt or despair. Do not fear the struggle. Do not resent the toil. These are not punishments but privileges, the instruments through which your spirit is strengthened. The world will not hand you success on a silver platter, but it will bow to those who are willing to meet it with patience, persistence, and courage. Understand this truth. Your greatness is already within you. Hard work does not create it, it reveals it. Each act of effort, each choice to persevere, peels away the layers of fear, laziness, and hesitation until the person who has worked becomes the person capable of achieving. So, I urge you to embrace the journey with reverence, to honor every task, every challenge, every early morning and late night. Success is not a fleeting moment, but the cumulative product of a life lived with dedication, diligence, and unwavering faith. The world may not see the struggle, but it will witness the triumph. And when that day comes, you will know that you did not stumble upon success. You earned it step by determined step with your hands, your heart, and your soul. Success, my friends, is born in effort, and it waits patiently for those bold enough to reach for it. We often speak of success as if it were a destination, a shiny summit waiting for us at the end of a long road. But let me tell you, true success is never a point on a map. It is the road itself, winding, uneven, and alive with lessons. Every step you take, every misstep you stumble upon, carries a wisdom that no trophy can bestow. It is in the journey that your character is forged, your courage is tested, and your spirit discovers its own strength. Do not rush past these moments, thinking only of the end. They are the very essence of the life you are meant to live. The struggle, the waiting, the quiet persistence. These are not obstacles to success. They are the sculptors of your soul. The person who arrives at the mountaintop unchanged by the climb has seen nothing, learned nothing, grown nothing. But the one who has felt the sting of exhaustion, who has wrestled with doubt and pressed forward anyway, carries a treasure far greater than any medal or accolade: wisdom, resilience, and a deep, unshakable sense of self. Every day, every challenge, every small victory along the way is a step that molds you into someone capable of holding and honoring the success you seek. We live in a world that prizes results above all else, that glorifies only the finish line and forgets the sweat and the tears that lead there. But let me remind you, the journey is never wasted. It teaches patience, humility, and perseverance. It reveals your true allies and exposes your inner fears, not to punish you, but to prepare you for the greatness you are capable of. Each struggle is a mirror, reflecting both the limits you believe exist and the boundless potential waiting to be unleashed. If you can learn to embrace this, to walk willingly into each trial, you will discover that the journey itself is a reward, a living, breathing testament to your courage. There is a quiet beauty in the process, in the daily grind, in the moments when no one is watching but you continue anyway. Success that is rushed, that is grasped without effort, often slips away, hollow and unsatisfying. But when you honor the journey, when you cherish each step along the way, the ultimate reward becomes richer, sweeter, and more meaningful than you could have ever imagined. Every mile walked, every tear shed, every hour spent learning is a brushstroke in the masterpiece of your life. So I ask you to look at the road ahead with reverence. Step forward with intention, embrace the discomfort, the uncertainty, the waiting. Celebrate the small victories as if they were monumental, because they are. And know that the person you become while walking this path is the truest measure of your success. The destination may come, or it may not, but the journey, the growth, the courage, the transformation will always be yours, and it will always be magnificent. Life, my friends, is not gentle. It does not hand out rewards to those who wait quietly or bow to those who avoid the storm. The world tests us again and again, placing obstacles in our path, challenging our will and questioning our courage. But it is in these very trials that resilience is born. Resilience is not a gift, it is a muscle, strengthened only by struggle, by the repeated act of standing tall when every part of you wants to fall. It is the silent, steady heartbeat that whispers, "Keep going, even when the path is dark." Every setback you face is not a signal to surrender, but a call to rise, to dig deeper, to summon the courage you did not know you possessed. There will be days when failure knocks at your door, when doubt sits heavy upon your chest, when the weight of effort seems unbearable, and in those moments you will discover the truth. Resilience is not about avoiding pain or difficulty. It is about moving forward in spite of them. It is the ability to say, "I will try again and again and again," until the world itself cannot deny your persistence. Think of the great achievers, the ones whose names echo through history. They did not succeed because the road was smooth. They succeeded because they refused to be defeated, because they met every obstacle with determination, because they understood that struggle is not the enemy, but the very essence of growth. Each challenge they encountered became a stepping stone, each disappointment a teacher, each delay a lesson in patience. And so it is with you. The hardships you endure today are shaping the strength you will need tomorrow. They are molding a resilience that will carry you far beyond what you imagine possible. Resilience is also the courage to embrace imperfection, to accept that mistakes are inevitable and that no path is without setbacks. It is the understanding that the true measure of a person is not found in the absence of struggle, but in the willingness to persevere when life pushes back. Each time you rise after a fall, each time you face fear and take a step forward anyway, you weave resilience into the fabric of your being. And it is this resilience, this steadfast refusal to yield that transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary achievement. Let us not mistake comfort for success. Let us not seek paths without resistance, for it is the resistance that defines us, the work that tests us, the trials that shake us, the moments that tempt us to give up. These are the crucibles in which greatness is forged. Embrace them, welcome them, let them teach you, strengthen you, and guide you. For in resilience lies the soul of hard work, and in the soul of hard work lies the seed of triumph, waiting patiently for the brave, the steadfast, and the unwavering to claim it. There is a truth that few wish to acknowledge. Triumph does not arrive dressed in gold, nor does it announce itself with fanfare and applause. Triumph comes quietly, in the moments when no one is watching, when your hands are raw from effort, your body aches, and your spirit feels weary. It comes to those who are willing to labor, to sweat, to endure the discomfort of growth. The hands that toil, the minds that strain, the hearts that refuse to quit. These are the hands that touch victory. There is no shortcut to greatness, no secret door that bypasses effort, no magic spell that grants success without sacrifice. Consider the weight of sweat upon the brow of the worker who rises before dawn, the ache in the arms of the artist who sculpts beauty from unyielding stone, the strain in the mind of the scholar who studies long after others have slept. Their triumph is not accidental. It is earned through persistence, through a willingness to give more than comfort demands. Every drop of sweat is a deposit in the bank of achievement, a testimony that effort is the currency of success. To toil is to honor your own potential, to recognize that dreams are not fulfilled by desire alone, but by the steady, deliberate acts of discipline and courage. Do not fear the sweat, for it is sacred. It is the language of the body declaring, I am willing, I am committed, I will not stop. Each strain, each ache, each moment of discomfort is a reminder that you are building something stronger than your circumstances, something enduring that cannot be taken away. The path to triumph is paved with these moments of labor, these acts of resilience, these choices to continue when it would be easier to surrender. It is through sweat that the ordinary transforms into the extraordinary, that dreams crystallize into reality, that effort blossoms into achievement. Remember, greatness is never inherited, it is cultivated. Those who achieve have understood a simple, unyielding truth. The more you are willing to work, the more you are prepared to endure, the greater the victory you will claim. It is not merely the destination that matters, but the weight of the effort you bear to reach it. Each struggle, each moment of doubt conquered, each ounce of energy poured into your purpose strengthens the foundation upon which triumph will rest. So, embrace the toil, welcome the sweat, let it be your badge of honor, a visible mark of invisible effort. Understand that the road to success will test your body, your mind, and your spirit, but it will also reward you in ways nothing else can. Triumph is not given, it is earned, built slowly, deliberately, and often painfully, and when it finally arrives, it will shine not only because of what you have achieved, but because of everything you have poured into the journey, because of every drop of sweat that proved your dedication, and because of the unwavering heart that refused to quit. There is a paradox in life that few understand. The very thing that feels constricting, the rules and routines we often resist, is the thing that sets us free. Discipline is not a cage, it is the key that unlocks the doors to your dreams. When you commit yourself to a path, when you honor the small, deliberate actions day after day, you create a life of clarity, purpose, and freedom. Without discipline, ambition is scattered like leaves in the wind, brilliant but powerless, floating aimlessly without ever landing. But with discipline, even the largest of dreams can be broken into steps that can be taken, measured, and achieved. Discipline is not punishment. It is a form of respect for your own potential, a declaration that your goals matter enough to work for, even when it is inconvenient or uncomfortable. It is rising when the body begs to rest. It is choosing the path of effort when shortcuts beckon. It is in the quiet repetition of small actions, the moments when no one is watching, that discipline grows. And in this growth, freedom emerges, not the fleeting freedom of avoidance, but the lasting freedom that comes from knowing that your life is yours to shape, that your dreams are within your grasp because you have devoted yourself fully to the work required. Those who understand this truth are not slaves to their schedules, they are masters of their destiny. Discipline creates structure, and structure breeds peace. When you know what you must do and do it consistently, the chaos of indecision and procrastination falls away. You move through life with purpose, each step intentional, each action aligned with your vision. It is in this alignment that true freedom is found, for nothing outside of you can sway the person who has committed to themselves, to their goals, and to the relentless pursuit of growth. Discipline is also a shield against the distractions of the world. It teaches patience, resilience, and self-control, the virtues that allow you to remain steadfast in the face of temptation and doubt. Every time you choose effort over ease, action over delay, you are training your spirit to respond to life with strength rather than surrender. And in that training, you discover that freedom is not the absence of restraint, but the mastery of it. It is the power to act deliberately, to shape your life rather than be shaped by circumstance, and to walk your path with confidence and purpose. So embrace discipline as your ally, not your enemy. Let it guide your hours, focus your mind, and steady your heart. Understand that every act of consistency, every choice to follow through, every step taken with intention is a step toward freedom. The freedom to live the life you imagine, the freedom to claim success on your terms, the freedom to honor the promise you made to yourself. Discipline, my friends, is not limitation, it is liberation. And it is through this liberation that your dreams, once distant and uncertain, become real, tangible, and entirely within your reach. We are often taught to fear failure, to view it as a stain on our character or a sign that we are not enough. But what if I told you that failure is not the enemy, but the teacher we have long ignored? Each setback, each disappointment, each door that closes in our faces carries within it a lesson far greater than any success could teach. It is in failure that we meet ourselves fully, stripped of pretense, stripped of excuses, and forced to confront the raw truth of our ambition, our courage, and our resilience. Failure is a mirror reflecting not only our mistakes, but our potential. When we stumble, we are given the chance to see where we have faltered, to understand the choices that led us astray, and to gather the wisdom that will guide our next step. It is a gift wrapped in discomfort, a whisper from the universe reminding us that growth often comes disguised as loss. Those who fear it, avoid it, or deny it remain stagnant, unable to stretch beyond the boundaries of their comfort. But those who embrace it, who learn from it, find themselves rising stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the challenges that lie ahead. Every great achievement in history has been accompanied by a trail of failures. The writer whose book was rejected countless times, the inventor whose experiments exploded in the face of frustration, the athlete who fell repeatedly before mastering their craft, all of them understood that failure was not a verdict, but a guide. Each misstep was a teacher, each mistake a map pointing toward improvement, each setback a step closer to the goal that seemed unreachable. And so it is with us. Every time we fail, we are not weakened. We are educated, prepared, and primed to try again with new insight and renewed courage. Failure also teaches patience, humility, and perseverance. It reminds us that mastery is not achieved overnight, that every skill, every dream, every aspiration requires time, effort, and repeated attempts. It softens arrogance, tempers pride, and fosters empathy for others who struggle along their paths. When we learn to see failure as a teacher, We shift our focus from the pain of what we lost to the wisdom of what we have gained. We stop seeing ourselves as victims of circumstance and begin to see ourselves as students of life, eager to absorb its lessons and apply them with diligence and grace. So do not run from failure. Do not shrink from it. Do not despair when it appears. Lean into it, study it, listen to its voice. Let it instruct you, challenge you, and shape you. For every failure contains a seed of triumph, a lesson that, once learned, can propel you higher than success alone ever could. The path to achievement is lined with missteps, but those missteps are not signs of defeat. They are the signposts that guide you toward the person you are meant to become. Embrace failure as your mentor, and you will discover that what once seemed like loss is, in truth, the foundation of lasting success. There is a power in seeing what others cannot, in holding a vision of the future so vivid that it outshines the darkness of the present. Vision is more than a goal, it is the compass that guides every step, the light that steadies you when the road grows steep, and the song that keeps your heart beating when your body longs to rest. Without vision, effort can falter, determination can waver, and the path ahead can appear endless and uncertain. But when the mountaintop is clear in your mind, every step, no matter how heavy or painful, carries purpose. Vision fuels persistence, and persistence in turn turns dreams into reality. To persist without vision is to wander aimlessly, to labor without direction, to struggle without hope. But when you carry a vision, you walk with intention. Each obstacle becomes a challenge to overcome, each setback a lesson to learn, each delay a moment to strengthen your resolve. The vision does not promise ease, but it promises meaning. And that meaning is what propels you forward when fatigue and doubt threaten to halt your journey. It is the whispered reminder in the quiet hours. You know where you're going, keep moving. Vision also teaches patience, for the path to your dreams is rarely swift. It stretches across days, months, and years, often demanding effort without immediate reward. Yet the persistent heart, guided by a clear vision, endures. It endures rejection, disappointment, and the temptation to surrender. It endures the slow, painstaking work that others overlook, knowing that every small action is a brushstroke in the grand painting of a life lived with purpose. Vision transforms struggle into significance, effort into artistry, and labor into a declaration of hope that cannot be silenced. And let us not forget that vision is born of courage. To see the mountaintop when others cannot is to risk disappointment, to risk ridicule, and to risk failure. Yet those who dare to hold their vision high discover a strength they did not know they possessed. They discover that persistence is not born from comfort, but from clarity, that it is not sustained by ease, but by the conviction that what they seek is worth every sacrifice. The vision becomes a promise to oneself, a silent pact that no challenge, no fear, no obstacle can dissolve. So I urge you to hold your vision with unwavering faith, to let it guide your steps even when the path is rocky and the nights are long. Let it remind you that your effort is not in vain, that your struggle has purpose, and that your persistence is a tribute to the future you are determined to create. See the mountaintop clearly. See it in your mind, feel it in your heart, and allow it to carry you forward when the world seems heavy. For when vision fuels persistence, there is no force strong enough to stop the journey, and no goal too distant to be reached by the steadfast heart. There is a quiet dignity in honest labor, a nobility in giving your all to the work you are called to do. When you commit yourself fully, when you honor the effort you invest in every task, you are not simply chasing success. You are declaring your worth, your integrity, and your capacity to rise. Hard work is not merely a means to an end. It is a mirror held up to your own soul, reflecting the respect you have for yourself. When you refuse to cut corners, when you dedicate your heart and hands to the task at hand, You are saying, I am worthy of the effort, I am worthy of the reward, and I will not settle for less than I can give. The world may not always notice the hours you pour into preparation, the sweat, the perseverance, the unseen sacrifices. Yet the universe has a way of honoring those who honor themselves first. When you work with honesty, passion, and commitment, your life becomes a testament to the respect you hold for your own potential. Others may recognize your achievements, but even if no applause comes, the satisfaction of knowing that you gave your best is an immeasurable reward. In this, hard work is both a shield and a crown, guarding your dignity while elevating your spirit. Self-respect, born of hard work, is also an act of defiance against mediocrity, against laziness, and against the temptation to take the easy path. It is a statement that you will not allow circumstances, excuses, or fear to dictate the quality of your life. Every deliberate action, every disciplined effort, every choice to continue when you feel like stopping, strengthens your sense of worth. The person who honors their effort does not rely solely on external validation. They are sustained by the knowledge that they have done all they can, and that doing all they can is itself a triumph. This kind of self-respect transforms the way you approach challenges, failures, and setbacks. It teaches patience, humility, and perseverance. For those who respect their own work, do not abandon it at the first sign of difficulty. Instead, they rise, adapt, and continue, knowing that true value is not measured in speed or ease, but in dedication and integrity. The sweat on your brow, the strain in your hands, the hours of effort you invest, these are the marks of self-respect, the evidence that you refuse to be less than what you are capable of becoming. So let your work be a reflection of your honor, your discipline, and your belief in yourself. Let every task, no matter how small, be approached with care, diligence, and pride. Know that in giving your best, you are not only building success, but crafting a life of integrity, courage, and self-worth. Hard work, my friends, is the language of respect for oneself. It is the way we tell the world, and more importantly ourselves, that we are worthy, capable, and deserving of all the triumphs that come to those who dare to give everything they have. In the pursuit of greatness, it is easy to overlook the quiet triumphs, the small victories that mark our progress along the way. Yet these moments, seemingly insignificant, are the building blocks of lasting success. Each time you complete a task you thought impossible, each time you rise after a setback, each time you choose effort over ease, you are achieving something profound. To celebrate these victories is not to boast, but to honor the journey, to recognize that progress, however incremental, is still progress, and that every step forward brings you closer to the life you envision. The habit of celebrating small victories nurtures gratitude, patience, and resilience. When we acknowledge our own efforts, no matter how modest, we cultivate a sense of accomplishment that fuels continued effort. The world may reserve its applause for grand achievements, but the quiet satisfaction of knowing you gave your best in every moment is a reward that sustains the spirit. To honor the small victories is to honor yourself, to recognize that the path to greatness is made up of countless tiny steps, each one essential, each one valuable. Small victories also serve as reminders of our strength and capacity. When challenges feel insurmountable, when doubt creeps in like a shadow, recalling even the smallest triumphs can rekindle courage and perseverance. They are proof that you are capable, that you have endured, and that you can endure again. Every lesson learned, every obstacle overcome, every moment in which you chose action over inaction is a victory worth noting, worth remembering, worth celebrating. In doing so, you reinforce the belief in yourself, a belief that becomes the anchor of persistence when storms arise. Moreover, celebrating small victories transforms the way we perceive success. It teaches us that success is not merely the arrival at a distant destination, but the accumulation of effort, growth, and persistence along the way. It shifts our focus from outcomes alone to the journey itself, encouraging us to appreciate the process and find meaning in every step. This awareness allows us to experience joy and fulfillment even in the midst of struggle, for we see that each effort, no matter how small, contributes to the larger tapestry of achievement. So take time to acknowledge your progress, to give yourself credit for the moments when you did not give up, for the times you acted with courage, for the efforts you made when no one was watching. These small victories are the quiet triumphs that build the foundation for greater success. They are proof of your commitment, testimony to your resilience, and evidence that you are moving forward. Remember, it is not only the monumental achievements that define a life of greatness, but also the countless small steps, the daily acts of courage and dedication that together create a journey worthy of celebration, honor, and pride.